I feel real good about myself because I watched the Alpo show. Everything's cool. Can't wait. Show starts now.
And welcome to Alpo Show, the Human Spirit Experiment. Today is Wednesday, first of two shows. Today I'll be talking about the central bank. Later on, we'll hopefully have some harmony wisdom from our good friend Aid Harud later. So today we're going to start off, I think, one of the most important things that can possibly be talked about, and that is our money. All right. And we're going to be talking about Jerome Powell. Jerome Powell is, who do we call him? Well, he is the federal or the central bank chairman. The central bank has been running the country since about 1913, when Woodrow Wilson allowed this bank, which is a private bank, to control the money in the United States. Now, Jerome Powell, look at him, nice old guy. Looks like he could be a grandfather. But let me just make no mistake about this, ladies and gentlemen. He is the most powerful man in the United States. And if you don't believe me, you haven't done your homework. Why is he the most powerful man in the United States? Because he controls our money. And we have no vote. We don't have a vote on how to vote on our money. It is completely dictated by this man. And if you don't know this, you see, the whole thing is about everything that's going on here. It's most of the stuff that's being dictated to us is unelected officials. The World Economic Forum, the World Trade Bank that's going on now, the globalists that want to put us all in a place with the rest of the world. Now, today was the 8th day in a row that gas rose. And for my buddy Mac, who said, hey, move to Arkansas, gas is gone because it's only $3.50, right, Mac? Well, no, it's not, Mac. It's over $4 now. So, and it's also rising. Gas is rising. And so how does one survive when gas keeps on going? I call this almost a robbery. That's what's going on. We are being dictated on how we spend our money. Now, I'm going to go over an article here that I found in Bloomberg here, and I thought it was very interesting. This is from Bloomberg. Hope you can see this. Okay, so he came out with a meeting. It was on yesterday, and this is what came out of what he said. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell, in his most hawkish remarks to date, said the U.S. Central Bank will keep raising interest rates until there is clear and convincing evidence that inflation is in retreat. What we need to see is inflation coming down in a clear and convincing way. And we're going to keep pushing until we see that. He said Tuesday, if that involves moving past broadly understood levels of neutral, we won't hesitate at all to do this. And, ladies and gentlemen, there will be nothing that we can do because they have no rules. You can find a quote from Alan Greenspan, who used to be the head. He said, basically, we can do anything we want. And if you ask that to Jerome Powell, he'll tell you the same thing. Now, here's something else. The Fed chair repeatedly stressed the need to curb the hottest inflation in decades during the roughly 35-minute interview, calling price stability the bedrock of the economy and acknowledging that some pain. It's funny how it's always our pain, isn't it? In achieving this, including a slight rise in the unemployment rate, was a cost worth paying in order to achieve it. Now, Powell and his colleagues on the central bank's Federal Open Market Committee voted to raise their benchmark rate by half percentage point at a policy meeting earlier this month, and the chair at the time suggested to reporters that hikes of similar magnitudes would be on the table at their next two meetings in June and July. He repeated that guidance Tuesday while adding that near-term inflation development would be a critical detriment of the size of coming moves. If the Fed doesn't see clear and convincing evidence of abating inflationary pressures, then we will have to consider moving more aggressively. We're going to talk about that. Powell said, if we do see that, then we can consider moving to a slower pace. It's not going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. The target range for the benchmark federal funds rate currently stands at 0.75 to 1%. And the same people are going to meet this again in June. Now, let's drop this for a second and read some facts. Okay. So now, are we in this inflation, depression, recession? We'll know. We'll know. Frankly, I think it could be a depression. So now, this year, April, May, he raised the interest rates at 1%, 1.5%, which means a total of 1%. All right. So 1% also is the biggest rise that the Federal Reserve Bank has made in 22 years. Okay. So now they're going to do it 4 more times. They're going to do it in June. They're going to do it in July. They're going to do it in October. And they're going to do it in November. He's already stated this. So that's 4 more times, totaling 3%. You go, well, maybe that's not much, but I'm going to show you that it is. And also has decided that wages will drop from 5 to 2%, which is 3%. So you have 3% drop in wages, 3% up in inflation. That's 6%, 8.6% that the inflation has gone up. You see how it adds up? You see how it adds up? So we're getting our wages dropped. Inflation has gone already up, and it's going to continue to go up until they see fit. Either it's going to cause a recession or depression. And so if inflation goes up 8%, which is what it's done, 8.6. Now, I think it's more. Forgot one picture I wanted to put up where my coconut oil for a gallon of coconut oil went from $25 to $37. So that's more than 8%. All right. So if this is all true, if this is, a 3% inflation hike, 3% lower in wages, 8% or more that's coming, then the question is, who can afford a house? Here in Phoenix, the highest markup is in the Phoenix area, including gas here. Highest inflation ever. A buddy of mine said, a friend of his offered $1,200,000 for his somebody's house. Okay, didn't offer $1 million, added another $200,000, and never heard back from him. Why didn't hear back from him? Because someone probably offered 1.3, 1.4, 1.5. So now, since there was 2 meetings, one in November, one in January, and Jerome Powell has admitted he's made mistakes. He's made mistakes. That his plan hasn't worked, and what makes you think it's going to work? But you know what? There is nothing, absolutely nothing that we can do because they are the dictator of our money. He is the most powerful man in the United States. Every big banker will tell you, you haven't studied history, you need to. And all I'm going to say, control the money, control the law. So now, what do we do about it? It's time to be brave, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to be aware of the facts of life. And that is, someone's in control of us. Sorry about that. Where'd you come from? Someone's in control of us. And what do we do about it? Now, my greatest suggestion to you as we close is to get out of debt. However you can. If you have some extra money, you have to get out of debt. Now, when President Biden came into office, gas was $2.39. Right now, today, it's an average of $4.56. So most people are having problems, propane, gas, and diesel. Some people need all three. And by the way, some of us may not need propane, but we need gasoline and we need diesel because all the big trucks use diesel. So even though you think you're not using diesel, you are using diesel. And it's going to show up at your grocery store. So next time we're going to be talking about the middle class has disappeared. I hope you've enjoyed this show. I hope it gets you to think. I hope it allows you to make a plan. So we're going to get and start talking about some of the plans that can possibly be done. Thank you. You can comment on my show. Anything you think I'm wrong on, please tell me. I'd love to talk to you about it. But remember this is a reality. and it's time to get real. Thank you. I will see you at 6:05 with Het Haru, and we may talk about 9 o'clock on middle class. If not, we'll go into it tomorrow. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Alpo Show, the human spirit experiment. Remember, we're all under experiment with our spirits. Strong spirit, strong mind. Strong spirit, strong mind.